Kristaps Porzingis has gone through a lot in his NBA career. He's gone from being a top 5 draft pick and being an all-star to being labeled as a bust due to injuries. But after 8 years of many ups and downs, it seems like Porzingis is finally in a situation where he can show his full potential and help a team win. The Boston Celtics were so close to winning the NBA championship in the past 2 seasons, and general manager Brad Stevens knew that he needed to shake up the roster and increase the Celtics' chances of winning the NBA championship. Enter the unicorn that is Kristaps Porzingis. Stevens orchestrated a 3-team deal to land Porzingis in Boston. Many Celtics fans were skeptical about this trade since it got Marcus Smart, the 2022 NBA Defensive Player of the Year, out of Boston. But what makes Kristaps so good for the Celtics? He is a versatile big who stretches the floor on the offensive end and can protect the rim, switch, and guard multiple positions on defense. The Celtics are the team with the best record in the league at the midpoint of the season, and Porzingis deserves a lot of credit for that. He's a perfect fit in Coach Joe Mazzulla's starting lineup. He plays next to Al Horford, an experienced, versatile big man, and the two can both play inside the paint and shoot from outside. The Celtics have 2 great scorers in Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, but Porzingis gets his portion of shots on any given night and is averaging over 20 points and 7 rebounds per game. He's had better numbers than those, but what makes him more valuable for his team is the fact that for the first time in his career, Porzingis is shooting over 50% from the field. Playing on a good team and with his experience making a difference, Porzingis has a much better shot selection and often finds himself open in the paint. He is at a career-high 53.5% shooting from the field and 33% from deep. Porzingis, Tatum, and Brown are all averaging over 20 points per game, making the Celtics one of the only 3 teams in the league with 3 players scoring over 20 on a nightly basis. However, the road to get here was not so smooth for Porzingis. He grew up in Latvia and followed in his brother's footsteps to become a basketball player. Being almost 7 feet tall at the age of 15, Porzingis caught the eye of many agents and ended up in Spain. It was obvious that Porzingis is a pure basketball unicorn, and he made his debut for the senior team before he even turned 18. The NBA was definitely his future, and Porzingis even declared for the 2014 NBA draft before turning 19, but decided to stay for another year in Europe. In the 2014-15 season, he was playing in the Spanish ACB League and on the international scene at the Euro Cup. Porzingis played so well that he was named the winner of the Euro Cup Rising Star Award for the season. Then, Kristaps decided it was time for the NBA in 2015.
With the 4th pick in the 2015 NBA Draft, the New York Knicks select Kristaps Porzingis from Liepāja, Latvia. He last played for Sevilla in Spain.
Porzingis was seen as the biggest international prospect of the draft. The Lakers and the Knicks were among the teams with a top 5 draft pick, and they both showed interest in the big man. The Knicks had Carmelo Anthony on the roster, aging star power forward Amari Stoudemire was about to leave, and the only other exciting thing that happened for Knicks fans in the past decade was Linsanity. It was the first time in 29 years for the Knicks to have a top 5 draft pick, and they wanted to make it worthy. Phil Jackson recently took over the Knicks president role, and this was his first pick for the team. Before becoming one of the best coaches in NBA history with the Bulls and the Lakers, Jackson was a member of the Knicks' 1970 and 1973 championship teams, and it seemed like he knew what to do with this draft pick. To the surprise of many, Jackson decided to go with Porzingis, and that was not something that the Knicks fans were hoping for. Porzingis was inserted into the Knicks starting lineup right away and had a solid rookie season. In the second month of the season, Porzingis had 24 points, 14 rebounds, and 7 blocked shots to lead the Knicks to a 107-102 victory over the Houston Rockets, becoming the first 20-year-old to post such a stat line in a single game since Shaquille O'Neal did in the 1992-93 season. Later in the season, Porzingis posted a then career-high 29 points and 10 rebounds in a 115-107 win over the Chicago Bulls, being only 1 point short of becoming the first rookie since Patrick Ewing to put up 30 points and 10 rebounds in a single game for the Knicks. He finished his rookie season averaging 14.3 points, 7.3 rebounds, and 1.9 blocks per game, finishing second in the NBA Rookie of the Year award voting behind Karl Anthony Towns. Porzingis was proving everyone wrong and established himself as the new rising star for the Knicks. In his sophomore season, Porzingis missed 16 games due to injuries and finished with 18.1 points, 7.2 rebounds, and 2 blocks per game. Then in his third year, the 2017-18 season was Porzingis' breakout year. With Carmelo Anthony gone, Porzingis was the main man in New York. He took on the challenge of having the best start to a season for a Knicks player, scoring 300 points through 10 games, 2 more than Bernard King had to open the 1984-85 season. Knicks fans absolutely loved him, and Porzingis was named to the Eastern Conference All-Star team. But then things took a wrong turn for Porzingis. 2 weeks after the All-Star selection and 12 days before the actual game, Porzingis tore his left ACL and was ruled out for the season. He played only 48 games that year, averaging 22.7 points, 6.6 rebounds, and 2.4 blocks per game. While he was injured, the Knicks declined to sign Porzingis to a contract extension, and thus he demanded a trade. It was obvious that he would miss the entire 2018-19 season. In the middle of it, Porzingis was traded alongside Trey Burke, Courtney Lee, and Tim Hardaway Jr. to the Dallas Mavericks in exchange for DeAndre Jordan, Wesley Matthews, Dennis Smith Jr., an unprotected 2021 first-round draft pick, and an additional top 10 protected 2023 first-round draft pick. Mark Cuban, the Mavericks owner, decided to gamble on Porzingis as he was the type of player Dirk Nowitzki was and expected to make a great tandem with Luka Doncic, as both were Europeans and played in the Spanish ACB League before coming to the NBA. Porzingis was then ready to go for the 2019-20 season. He had numerous excellent performances for the Mavs and became the first player since Shaquille O'Neal in 2000 to have consecutive 30.5 block games. That season, Porzingis made his playoff debut in the series against the Los Angeles Clippers. He got ejected in the first game of the series, and in the following one, he suffered a lateral meniscus tear, forcing him to miss the remainder of the series, which the Mavs lost in 6 games. Porzingis finished that season averaging 20.4 points, 9.9 rebounds, and 2 blocks per game. He had surgery in the offseason and missed the first 9 games of the 2020-21 season. He then played in 43 games that season, averaging 20.1 points, 8.3 rebounds, and 1.3 blocks per game. The Mavs faced the Clippers again in the opening playoff round, where Porzingis' numbers dramatically decreased. He averaged only 13.1 points per game in the 7-game series that saw the Clippers advance. Then, following that season, the coach Rick Carlisle left the Mavs after 13 seasons, and that was the first offseason in which Porzingis was not recovering from an injury since he made it to the NBA. With Porzingis being injured a lot and just not meshing well with the team, during the 2021-22 season, the Mavs traded Porzingis and a protected 2022 second-round draft pick to the Washington Wizards in exchange for Spencer Dinwiddie and Davis Bertans. Him and Luka showed flashes in their 2.5 years together in Dallas, but overall the chemistry just wasn't there. The move to Washington was a huge step back for Porzingis, who, even though he averaged over 20 points per game in almost 3 seasons with the Mavs, was traded to one of the worst teams in the league. The Wizards did not make it to the play-in tournament, and Porzingis finished the season averaging 22.1 points, 8.8 rebounds, and 1.5 blocks per game. Individually, Porzingis had his best season in the 2022-23 season. Quote, "I wanted to get back to having fun and enjoy the game." Porzingis said of being traded from Dallas to Washington, "I was having fun, I was doing my thing, it just wasn't the perfect situation." But the Wizards were not even close to making the playoffs, which was a huge disappointment for Porzingis. However, he had no major injuries and was consistently scoring, which made him a big trade target for many teams. Washington decided to part ways with their best player Bradley Beal, who spent 11 seasons with the Wizards. Trading Beal made every player on the roster available, and that is when the Celtics came in. After failing in the 2022 NBA Finals against the Golden State Warriors, and last year in Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals against the Miami Heat, the Celtics were aware that they were one piece away from winning the championship. Boston had an excellent front court, but it was pretty tiny under the rim. Porzingis was the main target for the Celtics, and even though it wasn't easy to create a trade scenario for him, Brad Stevens made things happen. Porzingis is off to a great start with the Celtics, reviving his career. Staying healthy is the main focus for Porzingis, but he's doing very well so far, playing more than 30 minutes per game. It is a fact that Porzingis has only had 10 playoff appearances in 8 seasons in the league, but there is no doubt that he has reached the point where he is capable of helping a team win. The Celtics have everything they need to go deep in the playoffs, so Porzingis is not the only one who should take the majority of the load. So far, he's doing great things, shooting the highest percentage of his career, and as long as he stays healthy and plays on this level, the Celtics are the team to beat. Do you think the Celtics could win a championship this year? OKC is definitely a rising team, but I don't think they have the playoff experience to win it this year. Would love your thoughts below. I would love if you could leave a like on this video. Thank you for watching and have an amazing day.